Hello there guys, it's Count here, back here on a video, and today I'm going to do what if Deku can use Ultra Instinct part 13, hope you enjoy it. I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but I'm sick, so that's why I didn't upload for like 5 days. But hopefully I will get better soon. So with that, let's begin. And by the way, no recap, if you want to know what happened last part, click an I button right here. So after the fight, everybody returned to their own agencies, and every pro hero was given the task to go search for Stain, and every intern will stay in their respective agency, and that include Deku and Ida. But before Tensei leave, he asked Deku if he can sense Stain's key. Deku shook his head and told him he's too far away for me to sense him. Tensei sighed and he went on his way. So for the rest of the internship, Deku and Ida were locked inside the agency. So with that, time skipped to the day when everybody returned to school, and like you guys expected, everybody started surrounding Deku, Ida, and Todoroki, and Nafumi, and telling them they were lucky there was a lot of pro heroes there, or things could have turned bad with Stain. Ida nodded. Then he started telling him that Stain is just insane. He judges the hero, and if they are not worthy in his eyes, he will kill them. Who does he think he is? Plus, if someone have a hero title, he have earned it. Everyone agreed with him, but Deku stays silent. Well, it's not weird in this what if because he's usually quiet, but this time Nafumi realized that something is bothering him. He asked him what's wrong. Deku tell him, I'm disagreeing with Ida. I can understand where Stain is coming from. Ida get up, then Deku stop him before he can say anything and tell him, hold on, I did not say I'm agreeing with his method, but I can understand his logic. A lot, and I mean a lot of pro heroes only go after it for the money. They don't give a damn about people. Sure, saving them will give them a good image, but the second they feel disadvantaged, they start to back off. And if someone perish, he is another casualty. Nothing more, nothing less. And I agree with you on the point that Stain is a bit insane, but I guarantee you he only insane because of this society that push him too far. Ida tell him, but he's just another villain. Deku tell him, okay, how does he resemble a villain? But remove the part that he's going after heroes, because by borrowing his words, he wants to cleanse this world from fake heroes. For now, let's just remove that part. How does he resemble a villain right now? Ida start thinking and realize that he doesn't. Deku tell him, see, I told you. But I'll agree with you on one thing. Stain is dangerous, because Stain have a goal and he have the resolve to reach it. Ida nodded and he tell Deku, but he still disagree with him about the part that heroes only go after it for the money and fame. Deku tell him, not all of them, but most of them do. But they only result from this environment. Ida tell him, this environment? Deku nodded and explained that he basically was a reject all his life because he couldn't control his quirk. But one day, it was almost a year ago, he encountered a villain and his quirk actually manifests this once, and it was like a flip of a switch. People were happy to see him and they tried to be friends with him. It's like everything that they did in the past 10 years was like erased. Worst of all, they didn't even apologize. They expect me to just accept them. They're dreaming. And I can see a lot of people just falling for this trap and their ego will get better of them. So yeah, I can understand where Stain is coming from, but I don't agree with his method. Ida was speechless, same for everybody else. They know Deku didn't have the normal childhood because he's way too quiet for a normal kid, but damn, this went from 0 to 100 really quick. It went from he's quiet because he's shy to he was quiet because he was bullied for the last 10 years. Ida tell him, I'm sorry to hear that, Midoriya. So that's why you always keep things to yourself. Deku shook his head and tell him the reason I'm always quiet because I was trained to keep it that way since I was 5. Everyone gave Deku a puzzle look, so he explained that they don't know what his quirk will do. They know it's powerful, and the only piece of information that they have is it will activate whenever I'm in danger. So they assume that my emotions have a role in it. So I was trained by professionals to keep my emotion in check, to keep everyone safe from me. Everyone were shocked. Deku just dropped a lot of information on them. They tried to find a word to comfort Deku and try to say something, but it's way too awkward to say anything. Then Nafumi tell him, so that that's why I act like a robot, huh? Deku reply, you son of a... Then he promptly was cut off by Aizawa telling them to shut up. Then he started telling them about the finals and they have 2 weeks to prepare and to not only focus about their quirks, they need to focus on their written exams also. So good luck. Then everyone started thinking of a way to balance between training and studying, but Deku gear up and tell them that he's going to train. And Ida tell him what about studying? Deku simply replied that he can manage it. Everyone is wondering where Deku is going to train. And to answer this question, Deku is going to train with the big three. So when they meet like usual in the beta field, Mirio tell him that they are going to train a bit less than usual because they need to focus on studying. So Deku nod and they start sparring. And because they have less time to train than usual, they decide to go all out from the beginning. After a small warm-up, of course. So Deku power up 30%, this is his new limit. And Nijiri, Tamaki and Mirio all gang up on him. And with Deku utilizing his auto movement or auto dodging, he was able to avoid most of their attacks. Until Nijiri and Tamaki start using the special moves, then when they thought they cornered Deku and start attacking him, they soon realized they are only fighting an after image. So they look behind them and see Deku just standing there. And for you guys in the comment telling me that I'm downgrading the other big three, I'm not. Ultra Instinct is broken. Deku's body can dodge on his own, plus he have a power that almost equal to like 25% of 1 for all right now, and we did actually see what 20% can do with an inexperienced Deku in the original anime, but this Deku have 7 years of training under his belt. Speaking of belts, you guys already know that he have a black belt, so Deku can easily overwhelm Nijiri and Tamaki separately, but combined they are a bit of a threat, especially he is only using 30%. Plus the only person that is a threat to Deku is Mirio because of his quirk and his experience in boxing. So they're going back and forth for a little while, but unbeknownst to them, All Might, Aizawa and Perezeponizu are watching the fight, and they are in awe with Deku's strength and skill. He can handle his own against the big three at once? All Might said that in shock. Aizawa nod and tell him that he been training with them 2 weeks before the sport festival, and I can tell you this, he is improving fast. All Might and Nizu tell him to explain. Aizawa tell them that he was watching him, and the way he's using his quirk at moving is way better than before. His movement improved and his attack sharpened, and that is on top his increase in speed and power. Plus we have to consider that Deku only have his quirk for less than a year. Less than a year and he improved this much? So how strong he will become after he's done with UA? Everyone stays silent. Then Principal Nizu thanks Aizawa for bringing him here to see this fight because they have to make a special exam for Deku right now. He's way above the others, and this continue except for the teachers talking until the day of the finals. And when Wane meet the other teachers and tell them they are going to fight them, they are shocked and a bit terrified because they are going to fight against pro heroes, and most of the team stayed same. The only changes are Sato will fight Midnight alone because he's the only character that let his urges get the better of him, but to make it fair they increased the weight on Midnight and they gave him a couple of minutes extra to think of a strategy. And Bakugo will work with Naofumi and they are going to fight against All Might. Everyone jaw dropped. Then Deku asked him how about me. Perezeponizu tell him, well my boy, you have a special final exam. Deku got intrigued and tell him, and a smirk creeps up on Perezeponizu's face and tell him, you will be informed in due time. Deku replies, surprise exam, huh? Alright, I'm all up for it. Bring your A games, because that's what I'm going to do. So Zero go do his own exam, and the rest start thinking of the strategy. Deku asks Naofumi what is his plan. He knew he's going against All Might. Naofumi reply, I know. On top of that, I have to work with that Bakugo. Did you at very least think of a way to fight with him, or ask him for his opinion? Naofumi shook his head and tell him I didn't. I don't want to work with him, and I think the feeling is mutual. Deku sighed and tell him, I'm telling you this as a friend. At the very least try to talk to him, because you're going against All Might, the #1 hero, remember. Plus I know you will not run away, you will fight him. So at the very least, think of a strategy that will work for both of you, because if you don't, you'll either run away or lose. Naofumi agree with him and tell him, I will see what I can do. So the rest of the exams play out same as the anime. The three difference is, when Momo and Todoroki war against Aizawa, Momo doesn't have the self-doubt that she did in the anime because of Deku's influence. Plus she have a bit more endurance than usual, once again due to her training with Deku. But they still resort to the same trick that they did in the anime with Todoroki Loki using his eyes to cover Aizawa's vision, and Momo creating the catapult and Bedana to restrain him. The second change is the fight between Shoji and Mine versus Snipe. So during the fight, they quickly realized that they can't beat him because he can see through smoke and apparently even behind pillars. So they start thinking of a strategy how to get him. Then it hit Mine. She doesn't know it's going to work, but it's worth a try. So she ran in plain sight and surrounded herself with flames. Then she hid again. Then once again she ran in the open, but this time there is 2 flames. Then she hid and revealed herself once again, but this time there is 3 flames. Snipe doesn't know which one is the real one, and while he's distracted with this, Shoji quickly creep up on him and handcuff him, and they won. But if you guys comment that Snipe can also see Shoji coming toward him, well, Mine can also get close to him using her 3 clones, or maybe 4. Sorry, clones is the wrong term, more like illusions or just flames moving or something. She cannot create full-fledged clones. So using this technique, she get close to Snipe and catch him. So now let's go to the last and final change of the story, except for Deku's fight, and it's the final exam of Naofumi and Bakugo versus All Might. And like you guys expected already, they are not getting along at all. But Naofumi is trying his best to at the very least talk with Bakugo to figure out a plan. Bakugo tells him to shut up by throwing a punch toward him, with Naofumi grab it and shoulder throw him to the ground. Then Naofumi starts yelling, "Listen to me, you can act like a spoiled little brat all you want, but this once put up your big boy pants and let us fight, because I don't want to lose, and I think so do you. And I really hate to admit it, but you and me at least have one thing in common. We both want to space Izuku. And what better way to do it by fighting or besting his idol. So before you say anything, think about it. I know you're smart enough to know what is right." Then Naofumi take a step back from Bakugo. Bakugo get up and tell him, "Fine, so what is your plan?" Naofumi tell him it's clear that we cannot fight him head on, but it will be really difficult to handcuff him. Difficult but not impossible. If we use your gauntlet to pin him or at the very least stun him for 1 second, I have the perfect thing to stop him, so that should give us a few more seconds to spare. Bakugo grin his teeth and tell him, "Fine, but I am the one who using the gauntlets." Naofumi tell him, "Suit yourself." Then when they start walking in city, All Might fire a massive destroy smash and tell them, "Hope you prepare, heroes, because I am here." Both of them felt a chill down their spine, but they quickly remembered the plan, so Bakugo quickly create a smoke screen. Naofumi fire a Nova Flash. All Might was expecting that, and when he told them that, he look up and see Bakugo readying his gauntlet. He was not ready for this. Bakugo fire his gauntlet and he was rocketed toward the air, but he quickly catch himself and tell Naofumi to do it now. And like they expected, All Might was stunned for 1 second. Then Naofumi yelled, "Capture him, Black Whip!" Then Black Whip starts surrounding All Might's body and capturing him. And like expected, it's not enough. All Might is slowly breaking free, but that gave him enough time to capture All Might, and they will declare the winners. But in a common room, or whatever room it is, Deku is smirking, and that hardly ever happened. I think this is the first time that one saw Deku smirking. Then Deku said, "Good job, Naofumi." Then Momo tell Deku, "So I think it's your turn, right?" Deku nodded, then she asked him, "Is he not scared?" Deku tell her, "Of course I'm scared, but I will not let that get to me, because I need to stay focused to win." Then he walked out the room, heading straight to his exam. And I think I'm going to stop it right here. So what do you think of it, guys? What will happen in the last final exam? Who will go against Deku? Leave your thoughts in comments down below, and if you like it, drop a like, and like always guys, peace.